Every day, around 200,000 kilos of tomato sauce are produced in this factory. To produce such a quantity, enormous harvesters collect millions of fresh tomatoes. But how is tomato sauce made in factories? In this video, we will discover how one of the most popular sauces is mass-produced. During the tomato harvesting season, 50 million kilos are processed each year. 95% of the tomatoes harvested in the United States come from California, where the warm days produce very tasty tomatoes. They grow a thick-skinned and firm tomato so that the machinery can collect and classify them without damaging the pulp. 2 or 3 weeks before the harvest, the water is cut off, and this drought period concentrates the pulp, making it denser and meatier. After 90 days on the plant, these tomatoes are ready to be harvested. Technology has revolutionized the tomato business. This harvester is a factory on wheels operated by 4 workers. Sharp teeth cut the roots and send the tomato plants to a conveyor belt. The plants are lifted by a belt into the harvester, where metal prongs shake the tomatoes loose from the vines. The shaker separates the heavier fruits from the plant and spits out the waste from the back, recycling it as fertilizer for the next year's crop. However, the monstrous machine also picks up unwanted things like dirt, stones, and green tomatoes. A laser scanner separates the red tomatoes from the green ones, scanning everything that is not bright red and preventing it from entering the machine. A conveyor belt transports the ripe red tomatoes to a trailer moving alongside the harvester. The best tomatoes go into trailers that can hold 300,000 tomatoes each, filling about 24 truckloads of tomatoes per day. Each truck carries exactly 22 tons of tomatoes, ensuring minimal damage to the fruit during transport. Once they have a load of 22 tons, they deliver the tomatoes to the canning factory. There, they fill the trailer with water so the tomatoes float out through a side door. 2.5 million tomatoes enter the factory every day from July to October. First, a jet of water propels them through a steel channel. The dirty water from the soil residue drains through the grooves in the belt. The tomatoes land in a clean, water-filled channel where the stones sink to the bottom and are removed. The passage of tomatoes through water-filled channels protects them from bruising and initiates the delicate cleaning process. Before continuing with processing, the tomatoes float in a large tank where jets agitate the water for gentler cleaning. In the first bubble tank, bubbles keep the tomatoes suspended, moving, and cleaning them simultaneously. Next, the tomatoes head to a sorting line. As they ascend a conveyor, they are cleaned with a sprayer. An electronic sorter then discards any damaged, discolored, or unripe fruit. Pneumatic fingers remove those tomatoes from the batch in less than a second. The ones that pass the test move to the next phase, where they are submerged in a very hot bath, softening their skins. The tomatoes then move through a peeler that gently separates them from their skins. The goal is to remove only the outer skin layer, leaving the rest of the tomato intact. A jet of water washes away the skins, which fall through rubber discs, leaving no dirt behind. After peeling, the peeled tomatoes move to another conveyor belt where sprayers give them another rinse. This conveyor controls the flow of peeled tomatoes to the processing room, dosing the product as it advances. The tomatoes fall down a ramp into the cutting machine, which has 2 giant stainless steel blades. The tomatoes pass through them at high speed, almost imperceptible to the human eye. The conveyor belt carries them to the rotating blades, capable of cutting 4 kilos in half every second. The chopped tomatoes pass in front of workers who remove pieces that are not perfectly red. While the tomatoes continue their journey, another process begins in the plant. Depalletizers unload pallets of empty aluminum cans to maintain a constant supply to the fillers. Meeting the filling demand on the lines is a critical process. When the cans finally reach the fillers, they are turned upside down and sprayed with ionized air to ensure they are clean and empty. The tomatoes are transferred to a crushing machine that turns them into puree. This machine uses special blades to cut and crush the tomatoes into small pieces, making it easier to mix them with other ingredients. Once the tomatoes are crushed, the resulting puree is filtered to remove any remaining seeds or skins. The filtering process involves passing the tomato puree through a series of screens and filters to remove impurities and achieve a smooth, homogeneous tomato sauce. It's important to remove the seeds and skins as they could alter the texture and flavor of the sauce. The elimination of impurities also helps extend the shelf life of the sauce. Once the crushing process is complete, the tomato puree moves to the next phase of production, which is cooking the tomato. The puree is placed in large stainless steel pots, heated using steam, and continuously stirred to prevent burning or sticking to the bottom. Cooking the tomato can take several hours. In another pot, a careful sauté of onions and garlic is prepared to obtain a flavorful oil that will be mixed with the sauce. About 9 kilos of fresh garlic and onion are introduced into the pot filled with sunflower oil. The tomato puree is transferred to large mixing tanks where the fried oil and other ingredients like salt, sugar, spices, and vinegar are added. The mixing process is crucial to ensure all ingredients blend uniformly and the tomato sauce has a consistent flavor. The ingredients simmer for 20 minutes to ensure good homogenization. Every day, around 200,000 kilos of tomato sauce are produced in this factory. Once the tomato sauce is mixed, it is pumped through pipes to the pasteurization room. The mixture is heated to high temperatures to kill any bacteria or microorganisms present and ensure a longer shelf life. It is then cooled for packaging. Once pasteurized, the tomato sauce is sent to the filling room. The cans are lined up, ready to be filled. The filling machine pours the tomato sauce into the aluminum cans. The packaging process is completely automated. The cans move to the sealer, where steam displaces all the air from the can. The sealer places a lid and folds and rolls the edges to form a hermetic seal. These aluminum layers form a barrier that prevents the product from coming into contact with oxygen, giving the sauce a shelf life of 9 months. The cans reach the labeling machine and are placed sideways. Glue and a label are applied to the can. Hundreds of cans pass through the labeler every minute. Once labeled, the cans are packed and prepared for shipment. Thanks, see you next video.